I've been seeing a lot of nostalgia videos and stuff on TikTok, like those nostalgic slideshows, right? About just the 2010s, man. It'll be like, oh, here's life was like in 2013, or here was life in 2014, 15, this and that. And looking at those and watching those, man, it kind of like, man, it's like, man, the good old days. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to spend today's video talking about why the 2010s was such a great decade. It really was. It was the whole birth of the internet and just all the things and stuff that came out during that time as well. All the video games, all the movies, the music, everything about the 2010s was magical. Now, it depends how old you are watching this video. During the 2010s, I will always have the 2010s in the back of my head because that was my childhood. The 2010s were my childhood. In the beginning of 2010, that's kind of when I gained consciousness, right? You know what I mean? I was like, what, 8 years old? It's like 8 years old, man. That's when I first started to gain consciousness at the time. Like, let's all be honest. Do you remember years 0 through 4 or like 0 through 5? Probably barely, right? I barely have some memories of those times between 0 and 5. But after that, I kind of remember it. You know what I mean? But I feel like the 2010s, like I still remember specifically 2010, 2011, 2012, 2012 Black Ops 2, man, one of my favorite games of all time. But the 2010s was an era where I grew up in, man. I grew up in the 2010s, and I am thankful for that. And I truly believe growing up in the 2010s is the best part and the best thing or the best time to grow up in because, again, of the birth of the internet and just all of the great things that came out. The PlayStation 4 came out during that time, all the good Call of Duties, you know what I mean? Like, the 2010s was just amazing, man. It was just amazing. I'm glad I grew up in the 2010s. I'm glad I saw all, of great creations of movies and stuff like that, and just good sports as well, man, as a sports fan. During the 2010s, that's when I became a huge sports person. That's why I loved basketball, football, all that type of stuff. And it's just like a special decade for me that I just hold in my heart, man. I love the 2010s, and man, I would do anything to be honest to go back in the 2010s, man. Just experience it one more time. Experience the release of music, some video games, some things, and movies and stuff like that. And just overall, I feel like life in the 2010s was just a lot better than life now. Everybody now is just so chronically online. It's actually kind of sad. Even me myself, I will admit, I am kind of chronically online because, well, I'm a commentary YouTube channel, so it's like I kind of have to be chronically online, right? Like this, I just can't be like, oh, online here. Like, no, man, I have to be chronically online to cover like different topics and stuff like that I'm interested in. But it's like, man, during those times, man, things were just amazing. You know what I mean? And maybe it's because I was a kid and maybe I do have nostalgia, and that's fair, but it's like even then, I feel like everybody's life was just a lot better. Like looking around and looking at society and everything, maybe not in the like I don't know about the political standpoint because again, I was a kid at the time, but it seems like life in the 2010s was just a lot better than what it is now, man. People were outside more. I feel like my generation, the 2010s, like that era I grew up in was like the last era to really have that experience of going outside, meeting friends, playing outside. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see a lot of kids playing outside at all, man, and it's kind of heartbreaking. Like during the early 2010s, I'm talking like 2010 to 2016, right? Like before I went to high school, I used to always be outside, man, playing football, basketball, and I always had to be inside when the lights turned off, man. And I have like this field outside my house, right? So I used to play football with the kids around the neighborhood, and I've been living in the same house as well the entire time, and it's just like talking about it right now, just like, man, it's like a sinking sensation in my heart. I really love the 2010s, man. It's just a decade that I'll never forget in my life, man. It was truly amazing. It's a decade I grew up in. And yeah, man, I just want to sit here and talk about it in today's video because it's like after seeing all of those like nostalgic things about the 2010s, man, seeing it like it's just like, man, you know what I mean? It hit different. I won't lie. Those like nostalgic TikToks and stuff like that, it just hits different, man. Like, dang, man, I miss those times. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's enough for me today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, of course, make sure you guys of course drop a like, subscribe if you're brand new, man. And yeah, 2010s, man. What an amazing time.